All right, everybody, thank you for joining me again right here on the Florentino Rebuilding Florentino Rebuilding Company YouTube channel, your outpost on the West Coast out here in sunny Southern California. I've been extremely busy. I haven't been able to get to my hobby here in a few weeks, actually. Um, a lot of you may or may not know from following my YouTube channels from way back when. I do a lot of repairs to people's houses. That's my side hustle for cash, along with my regular full-time job during the week. So when it gets busy like that, I barely have time to sleep, guys, and I wake up the next day and got to start working on either my job or somebody's house all over again. So it's been like that for a few weeks. We got all that out of the way. I'm gonna dedicate tomorrow, which is Sunday, March 16th, 2025. I'm actually going to dedicate the entire day to our tender here, which is the reason why I'm doing this real quick update for you guys. Okay, what we have here for anyone just happens to be watching this video this evening is this is almost a 90-year-old old scale locomotive, about the size of Lionel, only designed more scale and to run on more correct track. She came in extremely damaged and pretty much beat up. These are very hard to find. More or less, this was produced around 1934. Only about 16 were produced. They were sold as kits, built up, or in kit form, where you get a box full of a lot of pieces. Needless to say, they're an old scale national heirloom, part of Americana history. Everybody plays with toy trains and model trains, especially around Christmas time during their lifetime, and that's what we got here. So the owner wanted her rehabilitated, brought back to life, restored to running pristine operation, and that's what we're doing here in this series of videos, though I fell a little bit behind here. Let's do this. Okay. Before I got real busy, I was starting to get discouraged with our let me see if we can advance the next one here.
Have you always had trouble with your weight? Me too.
Let me get rid of this commercial. Okay. With the striping, so we ordered decals for the correct striping. These particular two colors here, the decals were not of the correct color, and they really went on odd looking once I applied them to the model. I decided to go ahead and not use decals, paint my own light brown lines, which came out fine, as you can see, but I still wasn't happy because watching those videos that the owner of this model provided, or photographs of the real thing, the shade was correct, but that was a metallic color with this just regular paint, so I wasn't happy. So I went ahead and I went to my local hobby store, Brookhurst Hobby, and I went through they got a huge assortment of paints, probably the biggest paint assortment out here on the West Coast. And I brought a couple paints, some lacquer thinner. I came across a new paint right here, and I said, you know what, let's experiment. So I went ahead and I purchased Alclad Copper Color, which seemed like it was pretty much spot on. Also went ahead and purchased this new paint, which is used for the guys who paint all these futuristic space models and Japanese superheroes and all that stuff, anime and all that good stuff. Well, they're always coming out with a different paint manufacturer. It seems like every other month. And I always like to try new paints and new products. They usually stick around only for about a year, and then they're usually gone, and another one replaces it. But I like that color of copper. These are metallic colors. So I wanted to replace the brown painted on stripes with a metallic, but the correct shade. So we went ahead, I'll cover it with my finger, and we did it on this side. We went ahead and used the Alclad Copper. And this is how she went on. She went on metallic looking. She looks fantastic, except I was not happy with the shade. The lights I'm using right now to shoot this video are brightening up the color so it looks correct. But once I take it out of these bright lights, guys, it takes on the more reddish appearance like a brand new penny. And that's not the color that was on the photographs that we shared the other day. That's more of a tannish, very light copper color. So this was 2 weeks ago. I was real busy last weekend working on a drywall project, so I didn't have time to play with my hobby. Then I went back to work Monday through Friday. But it dawned on me today. I talked to the owner of this model. I explained to him why I had fallen behind and that I was not going to be able to make the Chicago show and stuff like that. We had a great conversation, like always. It was a text back and forth. I went for my evening walk about an hour ago, guys. As I'm walking around the park and the track in my neighborhood out there, as it's getting dark, the idea hit me. Boom, I got it. I ran back to my shop here, set up the airbrush, mixed some paints with the idea that I had, which I'll share with you guys right now. And you know what? The stripe came out perfect. I'm going to share it with you guys right about now. But what I decided to do was I said, you know what? Why don't we... How can I lighten this copper color so it doesn't look like a reddish penny when I take it out of the lights? I want it to look like a more tannish copper color, something you would see like on some sort of pots and pans, high-end pots and pans and stuff, and without losing the metallic, sparkly finish. So I said, you know what? How can I mix that? Can we mix white into that? But then you'll lose the effect, this and that. So what I remembered I had, and I don't have it here. I have it somewhere in the back somewhere, but it turns out I didn't need it. I have Alclad's white aluminum, which I use on fuel tanks on my big rigs and stuff. But I couldn't find the bottle. But I did find my Alclad. This is High Shine Plus aluminum. But I like that real light, flat color, almost white looking in metallic aluminum. So I said, let me mix the two, see if they'll even work if I mix them, because metallic, these paints actually have real metal in them from what I was told. And so I don't know if it'll even work in this with these paints like you lighten regular paints just by adding white or lighter color. So let's experiment. I went ahead, I mixed a little bottle. I started off with the light aluminum, added a few drops, and then added many drops of this to get that light color effect. Sure enough, I got it. Now it looks gray, it looks aluminum color, but there's copper in there. And once I shake the bottle, you can see the copper, real light copper color. The paint start to turn to real light copper color. And that's exactly what I wanted. So I went ahead and shot it on our tender, and it looked fantastic. But I couldn't differentiate the shades the way I sprayed it on right now. Keep in mind, I have to strip this. I'm going to strip the black paint off this tender tonight after I shut off the camera. So I went ahead and did some cool masking so I can have two stripes together, and it came out perfect. Exactly how John Lyon's photograph of the real thing came out. I don't know if you can pick it up in the light, but this is the reddish penny, the copper just straight out of the bottle, which I was happy with, but not really. Once you take it out of these bright lights, it turns to a more reddish color. This is now the color I wanted. The one on the left, this one here, the more whiter one, is that real light concoction of these two paints. Gave me exactly what I wanted with that metallic sheen or effect of using metallic paints. That's why we use them. That's my color, guys. I am stoked. I'm pumped up all over again. I'm going to dedicate tomorrow entirely to finishing this tender here. And neighbors, my mom, anybody, brothers, whatever, anybody needs favors, nope, can't help it. I'm not even going to answer the phone tomorrow. So so we'll strip this tender. We'll reshoot it in black. We're going to apply this the correct color. When I take this out of the light, guys, it doesn't turn reddish. It keeps that nice tan color, which is what we're looking for. Keep in mind this particular band, which goes on the bottom and on the top here, is going to have pinstripes running on the bottom and a pinstripe running on top. So it's going to get it's going to be a little more narrow looking, but it's going to have pinstripes embedded in them. That is why, for me, it was really, really important to have that shiny metallic, because that's what it is on the real locomotive. It's a shiny metallic copper, a light copper. And for me, it's real important for that metallic sparkle to pop through, because it's going to have those decals, those pinstripes through there, so it could look elegant, which was why they painted the real ones that way, for special trains anyways, and why John fell in love with that idea that he wanted his 440 to look that way. And I was on board, but what I had done up to that point, or the decals provided, just was not doing it for me. Now we got it. Little experimenting, wasted a little bit of this expensive paint. I love this stuff here, Alclad products. But real quick, I didn't just experiment with that before I did this right now, tonight. And I literally did it about a little over an hour ago, hour 10 minutes, hour 15 minutes, when I was walking around the track at the park on my evening walk, and I came up with that idea, and I ran over here, and boom, it worked. I'm kind of like the Elon Musk of model railroad trains. Whole scale. Anyways, I did mention I purchased this other paint just to experiment with it. I thought this was going to be our color, but once shot on the model, characteristics change, which is kind of what I suspected. Still good paint. I'm going to keep it around because I could use it for many, many, many other applications, just not the Ed Alexander 440. And then when I used just regular Alclad originally here about 2 weeks ago, straight out of the bottle, I'll show you. What I did is I didn't have any black around at the moment when I shot these things. That was another idea. I went to the hobby store. I don't think I shut my truck off, the ignition, when I was already in my shop shooting these out of the bottle to see if they would work. It was an experiment, an idea that popped into my mind. And so I grabbed this black container of Briggs & Stratton small engine oil for your 4-cycle lawnmowers and such. And I went ahead and I shot those colors on the black surface just to see how they would look. So the Alclad came out beautifully light, but when you take it out of the light, there's some reddish to it, like a penny, and we weren't going for that penny look. But I still thought this was better than this Turbo Dork metallic paint. It's a water-based acrylic. Doesn't even have a name. Death by. But these things are cool. I love these what do you call that? Fly-by-night paint companies that just pop up and stuff. I love that. It's fantastic. That went on more of a gold color. That band around the regional locomotive that sits in that museum out there that John Lyon went to take pictures of does not have a gold band, and it doesn't have copper, red copper like a penny band. It has a more very, very tan copper color. So these two paints didn't work. I kind of got bummed out again. And that's when I came up with the idea about an hour and a half ago when I was on my walk to mix these two. See, she starts to turn aluminum again, but you just shake the bottle a little bit and you can start seeing that copper color. The paint changes from aluminum to copper, a real light copper color, which is what we're looking for. Now, was this going to work out of my airbrush once I shot it on the model? Because, you know, I use a regular paintbrush and I put it on some stuff, and it did have the effect I was going for. The great thing about these Alclad paints is you don't have to thin them. Unless it's a requirement for something you got to do, but you don't have to paint them. highly encouraged not to thin. They're fantastic. I shot this out of the little mixing glass jar there, and it was a grand slam home run. Like I said, you can't tell here. Hard to pick it up on camera. But this is a more reddish, like a penny. This is a more tan, very light tan color. Metallic copper tan, light color. So I'm stoked. I'm really happy. Just a real short update. I'll do a lot. I'm only going to work on this tender tomorrow. So the only thing I'm going to do other than eat and take a shower and go for my morning walk, I'm not going to budge. Tomorrow's supposed to be a real nice day. And I got, you know, I know I had to take care of stuff. I know I was working on people's houses and Roberto's drywall in his ceiling and stuff, and some electrical in the kitchen here and stuff. I really, really, really enjoy what I do here. But something, when I left the hobby, the world was a different place. I've been out of the hobby for 12, 14 years, something like that. When I came back to the hobby, there's YouTube and social media and TikTok and Facebook and all that good stuff. And now I enjoy doing the hobby once again, but sharing it online with you guys. And this is just a gift, a baton I'm passing along to you guys. I won't be around this planet forever, but everything I learned, all the tricks and stuff, the talks we have, I'm just passing them along to whoever's on YouTube, whoever wanted to give it his shot or her shot at scale model building, or those who are retired and left the hobby and want to come back and work on stuff. This is my gift to you. So this is the way Florentino Rebuilding Company once roamed the earth. And I apologize to no one. You can watch it or not. You can subscribe or not. It's up to you guys. I'll tell you what, if you want to hit that like button, that helps me, because it puts this video on other people's who probably don't even know what this is, recommendations, and hopefully they click on this video and they pick up an interest in old scale 2-rail brass locomotives, and we keep this hobby going together, all of us. So go ahead, hit that like button. That'll help me. But you all take care. I'll try to give you another update. If not tomorrow night, Monday night. I'm not going to work on anything but this guy right here. Y'all take care. Have an awesome rest of your Sunday evening.